Hello everybody and welcome back. Today's bullet journal video is going to be doing my financial setup for 2019. So flipping to the first page here, I am going to do what I call my budget setup, and like last year, I like to do, using my Tombow dual brush pen, do lines similar to like you would see in a checkbook so that I can easily navigate this page throughout the year. And it just helps to sort of clarify things that are the bills that I'm looking at. And what I do for this page is at the end of the month, I'll go through and total up all of the typical expenses that I have for that month, and then use that to track across the year and sort of give me an idea of where I'm at among all of this. The next page that I'm doing here is going to be a debt payoff page. So this page would be really great if you're trying to get out from under different loans, whether that's a car loan, house loan, school loan, whatever it may be. And the way that I've set it up is each column would be a debt. Now, technically I don't have all of these to fill in, but it's good to have some, so throughout the year, if you add any purchases or you do any big thing, you can add that on to your debt payoff. And the way that I'm going to set it up here is that on the left hand side here, each little green line is going to be the balance of that debt, and then the January each month is going to be the pink payment, and that'll be the payment that I actually make on the loan. And so what I'll be able to do is track the payments that I'm making in the red columns and then the balance of it. And as I pay off each debt, what you'll be able to do then is snowball, so take that payment and add it on to the next one. And it's just a typical way that most people do things in the term of snowballing payments. I think it's a big thing for Dave Ramsey, even though I've never watched any of his stuff, but it's just a good general idea of trying to get out from under any debt that you're trying to do. Now, if you don't have any large balance debts that you're looking at and you're going, I don't have anything that big that I need to get out from under, or you're just looking at a small payment, then the small balance debt sheet that I'm going to do here might be a good way to evaluate that. And that is something that I did in last year's financial bullet journal setup, where you're basically going to do a little ticker tape or a line or boxes, whichever way you want to do it, that's going to show you how much you need to pay, and each box is going to be something that you mark out every time you make a payment or reach that goal. I recommend doing these boxes in a way that will help you to stay positive about paying off your debt. So don't, if you have $1,000 debt, for example, don't make each box like $500. Go ahead and put them off in $100, or if it's easy to do a $50 payment, then I would recommend doing that, because the biggest motivation is being able to mark a box off, color in a box, and say, look how much progress I've made each month. This page is my bill tracker, and normally I put my bills on each monthly spread, but I'm going to try something different this year by going ahead and putting all of my bills on one page and just going through and marking those off every month. This next page is going to be my small savings tracker, and for those of you who don't want something quantitative and want something a little bit more fun and exciting, or maybe you have a smaller goal or even a large goal, then this would be a fun way to track that savings. So I'm just doing a random sort of pattern of hexagons here and counting out the number that I want. Then I'll go ahead and make a key, and this will denote how much that each box is worth, so that whenever I mark it off, I'll kind of have an idea of where I'm at. The last spread that I'm going to be doing here is a bigger savings goal with more of a defined savings plan rate. So for those of you who don't want to commit to a monthly savings plan, then I would recommend doing the previous one where you're just coloring in boxes. Now, if you're looking to stick to a specific savings plan, whatever that may be, or you're wanting to stick to a certain amount, then this is a great way to track that. And so the way that I'm setting this up is that each horizontal axis is going to be a week of the year, and you will go in, count out the weeks of the year, and then put in your specific amount that you want to grow. Now certainly that is just one way to use this. You could also use it to just track how much you're putting into your savings account each year. So going and totaling each week's deposit and adding that to the amount of the previous week to give you a running guideline of how much you are using. Now, when I am using this as a set tracking for how much to deposit to stick to a savings goal, then I will highlight each week with a mild liner or my Tombow dull brush pen to show my progress on this. If you are doing it the other way, then I think just simply writing in the amount will show where you're at. Now, the last thing I'm going to do here is just my flip through of my financial setup for 2019. And certainly, if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. If you're wanting anything more in depth, please let me know. I hope that this helps some of you guys with your own personal financial bullet journal setups. And as always, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and have an awesome day. Thanks, guys.